What's good, horror horde? This is your boy Horror Gamer, back with another video for you. And as you can tell behind me, I'm still in the haunted Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Now, I did want to throw a little disclaimer out there. I know you've been seeing videos where I'm in Horror Haven, then you'll see a video where I'm here. I had pre-recorded a couple videos because I didn't really know if I was going to do any filming while I was out here because technically I'm on vacation, but I decided, fuck it, bring the camera anyway, just in case. And something pops off, or as you're about to see, your boy Horror Gamer goes and buys and gets a nice horror haul to share with you guys. I figured I'd do it here. Why not? So, with all that being said, today's video is, I don't even know what to call this. I just went out to Walmart and I bought a bunch of Blu-rays. Another horror haul, I guess I can call it. And since tonight is the last night we're here in Gettysburg, and then starting tomorrow, all the videos will be from Horror Haven at that point. So I figured I'd give you guys one last video from Gettysburg before I'm back home in Horror Haven. So with all that being said, fuck it, let's just dive right into this because I did get some good ones. Sorry, let me readjust my glasses here. I did get some real good ones, and I'm really excited to show them to you. So let's just dive right in. Okay, so the first one I picked up, I saw it the other day when we first got here, and I was like, on Friday when I get paid, I'm gonna go get it. And it didn't have the slipcover. Well, I went today, and I found it, and I found it with the slipcover, so I jumped all over it. It was the only one left with the slipcover, and that is The Curse of La Llorona. Now, if you're kind of new to my channel, I did do a review of this a while back, and I am very happy I got this on Blu-ray because if you didn't know, your boy Horror Gamer is of Spanish descent, and when I was younger, this story was told to me a lot. It's basically about La Llorona means the crying woman, and the urban legend goes there was this woman who was the most beautiful woman in all the land. She married the most handsome man in all the land, but as she started aging, he started, I guess getting better looking or whatever, and he would disappear for days on end and be sleeping with another woman, and while she's at home taking care of their kids. So one day, she figured the best way to hurt this guy is to hurt her kids. So she ended up drowning her kids. Now, the story goes, it all depends who you listen to. One story is she felt so bad about killing her children that she ended up jumping into the creek and drowned. Or another story goes, she would come to the riverbed every night crying and weeping for her children until the day she died. But the whole urban legend stays the same. If you're bad or you're caught out at night by a river or a body of water and you hear La Llorona crying, that's it. She got you, and then she'll drag you into the water. So, and I was so pumped when I heard they were making a movie of this, because growing up with that urban legend was scary, and it has the girl who played Velma and Scooby-Doo. So that's pretty cool. She's a great actress. All right, so I'm gonna do my best attempt to read this. It is kind of dark, but it says, a terrifying, timeless legend comes to life in The Curse of La Llorona. She is the weeping woman, and those who hear her death call in the night are doomed. She creeps in the shadows and preys on the children, desperate to replace her own. In 1970s Los Angeles, ignoring the eerie warning of a troubled mother suspected of child endangerment, a social worker and her own young kids are soon drawn into a frightening supernatural realm. Their only hope of surviving La Llorona's deadly wrath that's dark, may be a disillusioned priest and the something mysticism he practices to keep evil at bay, on the fringes where fear and faith collide. So yeah, this movie was epic. I loved it. It reminded me of my childhood because, like I said, I heard the story of La Llorona a few times when I was bad, and it always, every time, scared the shit out of me. So that was my first pickup, The Curse of La Llorona. So pumped I have it. Now the second one I picked up, I'm kind of pumped about because I was actually shocked at how good it was, and it is produced by Guillermo del Toro, which, you know, he did like the Hellboys, the Orphanage, you know, Crimson Peak, shit like that. And he has his movies are dark, very dark, and very good. And it was based on a children's book, but they made it into a pretty decent kind of young adult movie, and it was scary stories to tell in the dark. And this movie shocked the shit out of me when I went to go see it in theaters. Definitely a good movie. I love how they did it and how they interpreted some of the freakiest ones in the actual book itself. And it says, it's 1968 in America. Change is blowing in the wind, but seemingly far removed from the unrest in the cities is the small town of Mill Valley, where for generations the shadow of the Bellows family has loomed large. It is in their mansion on the edge of town that Sarah, a young girl with horrible secrets, turned her tortured life into a series of scary stories written in a book that has transcended time. For a group of teenagers who discover Sarah's terrifying home, the stories become all too real. In the spine-tingling film produced by Oscar winner Guillermo del Toro. And this movie is legit. If you haven't seen it, definitely check this one out. I actually got this on sale for $10. And it's maybe a little more than a year old. That's definitely worth the price. $10. Awesome pickup right there, guys. And the next one I got, it's actually an older one that came out a couple years ago. And the new one came out last year. And that's Stephen King's It. I love these movies. I need to go on and get the second one. But, yeah. This movie was epic as shit. They did a real good job with this one. And they did a good job with the second one, too. Both these movies were amazing. So, here it is. Stephen King's horror masterpiece comes to life for a new generation. In Derry, Maine, 7 young friends unite against a terrifying supernatural creature that has been haunting their small town for centuries. Calling itself Pennywise, the dancing clown, it is a monster of unspeakable power that takes the form of everyone's most horrific fears. Threatened by their worst nightmares, the only way these kids can survive it is together. This movie freaked me out. The scene at the beginning when Georgie gets his arm and they show it gets me every time, man. But this movie is legit. If you haven't seen it, I don't know what you're doing, but definitely check this out. Stephen King's It. And I'm glad I picked that up. That was a good buy right there. Now, the next two I bought is actually part 1 and 2 of something. But I'm going to show you part 2 first because part 1 is actually kind of special. So, alright. The next one I got is Zombieland Double Tap. And if you don't know what Zombieland is, I mean, you must be living on a rock. These movies right here, they're not necessarily super horror, but they are horror comedy, and they are just great movies, man. Woody Harrelson cracks me up. He steals the show in both of them, in my opinion. He's a real badass. All right, and it says, a decade ago, Zombieland became a hit film and a cult classic. The lead cast, Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, Abigail Breslin, and Emma Stone, have reunited for Zombieland Double Tap. In the sequel, where the comic mayhem stretches from the White House and through the Heartland, these 4 slayers must face off against the many new kinds of zombies that have evolved since the first movie, as well as some new human survivors, but most of all, they have to face growing pains of their own snarky, makeshift family. This movie, oh man, I was shocked at this movie too. Because see, for me, Zombieland 1 came out of nowhere for me. And then I had really high hopes for this one. And this one didn't disappoint either. This one was hilarious. Just as good as the first one, I think. Yep, there's that one. And then the final one I picked up, I told you I was going to show this one last because this one, I was really shocked. And I do have it already, but I don't have this variant of it. And it's the original Zombieland, but it's a steel book. Found this at Walmart for 10 bucks. I couldn't pass that shit up. A steel book? Collector's edition steel book? Hell no. And it says, nerdy college student Columbus, Jesse Eisenberg, has survived the plague that has turned mankind into flesh-devouring zombies because he's scared of just about everything. Gun-toting, Twinkie-loving Tallahassee, Woody Harrelson, has no fears. Together they are about to stare down their most horrifying challenge yet. Each one's company, Emma Stone, Abigail Breslin, co-star in this hitting head-smashing comedy. This movie is one of my favorite movies of all time. Definitely, if you haven't checked this out, you gotta go and buy this, like, now. But yeah, so H0rr0rr, I picked up 5 awesome movies. We're gonna be home tomorrow, so the next few videos are gonna be straight out of Horror Haven. So I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the few videos you got from Gettysburg. And as always, it's your boy H0rr0rgamer saying until next time, don't fear the darkness. Embrace it.